Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How's your Friday going so far? You're on the cusp of a new weekend. Tomorrow, I will be playing guitar and fiddling around with songs. On my Saturdays, I decided to swap because we haven't played. Well, I haven't played guitar and stream in a while, so I'm gonna try and get down, dig down once a week on my Saturdays. Maybe I should play something all week and do it on Saturday. No, we'll figure it out. Uh, yeah. Sometimes you put this thing and it does not charge. I guess it doesn't matter. I hope everyone is having a good Friday. I'm exhausted. Oh, oh. For the first time I started this, I think this may be the second or third day. I was like, oh, I'm not looking forward to it. But those they're going to be those days, right? Um, we stream every day. Uh, yeah. All right. So what do we got here? Let's put up. There you go. So what do we have today? Uh, this may not be a 3 hour long. Normally our Friday. Hey William. Normally our Fridays are longer. How you doing? I hope your Friday is good, and I hope your weekend is looking to be excellent. What's the what is sunset?
Sunset will be at 6:47 p.m. today.
Okay. It was. I gotta tell you, man. Literally, it feels like literal seconds after. Seconds after the what do they call it? The fall equinox or whatever. It got cold. It must have been like 60 degrees last night. And normally it's like 75. All of a sudden, in like 2 days, everyone turned off their air conditioners. It's really, it really is something. All right, so let's get into it. Season changing, the changing seasons changing. The changing of seasons is one of my favorite things. It really is. Biden urges Democrats to compromise, have patience as he tries to revive it. Look, Biden wants you to all get together so he can do this thing that he wants to. Biden has never done anything for anybody else. I find it amazing that he is supposed to be the bridge builder. This whole thing is ridiculous. He really is. The whole Democratic situation is just abysmal. It really is abysmal. Hello, Miss Snow Bunny. Good to see you. Everybody get together and do this thing I want you to do. So then when you ask me hard questions, I can give you some flippant answer and say, come on, man, like, as if come on, man means, oh, you're right. I should have known better. Biden has never been legitimate. Uh, oof. All these cops don't want to don't. So you're going to send all these cops who don't want to get vaccinated to people who don't want to be vaccinated. The whole thing is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Carlos Watson. Okay, what is this now? Carlos Watson resigns from NPR corporate board after week of scandal. It's been a week of scandal. Resi- Carlos Watson resigned as corporate director of NPR on Friday. What the fuck is a corporate director on NPR after the spectacular public meltdown of the digital media company that he leads and co-founded? The governance committee of NPR corporate board has been set to meet later in the day to determine Watson's future with the public radio network. Hold it, wait, what just happened here? I did not hear this. In recent days, Watson told his company, in recent days, Watson and his company, Ozzy, OZY, has been accused of misleading the public, advertisers, and investors about the buzz hungry outlet and its performance. Watson, who was appointed to NPR board in 2016, had just been reelected to a second 3-year term, which had been set to begin next month. His resignation comes Friday in a letter to chairman of the NPR board, LaFontaine Oliver. The dude's name is LaFontaine Oliver, who is the president of NPR Baltimore members station WYPR. Earlier today, Carlos Watson submitted his resignation from the NPR board of directors. I accepted his resignation on behalf of the board. Why do you have to make a public resignation? I don't understand. Mr. Watson's resignation is effective as of today. Since Sunday, when the New York Times ran an expose on the company, Watson claims about the digital traffic at the millennial focus outlet have come under withering scrutiny. The figure Watson Ozzy cited for the audience of its website, newsletter, and social media platforms now look improbable or artificially inflated. So he lied about his business, and this is the scandal. In a memo to staff, okay, I'm looking at this as bullshit. They wrote a lot about this too. This is a long fucking article. Shelley poem can be taken as a rumination on impermanence. Shelley writes of the statue of Ozymandias bearing a legal, alleging that he is a king of kings. Yet, as the statue turns to rubble in the desert, he notes that the lone and level sand stretches far away. Yeah, we know this. I think I've read that poem on this channel like 10 times. So he wrote, not he wrote, he he made a company. He started his company and named it Ozzy for the poem Ozymandias by Shelley. The whole point of that poem is that there's impertinence in the world. Why would you name your company that? It's like having a breakup song be your wedding song. It's like now we have the bride and groom come out here and they're gonna dance to their first song, and it's what? It's what is a breakup song? Uh I Will Survive is a breakup song, right? Yeah, it doesn't don't make any sense. Yeah, I haven't heard much about this today either. Wait, which Kavanaugh? Brett Kavanaugh is COVID positive? That's just gonna happen because famous people are gonna get it, poor people are gonna get it. Which Kavanaugh is COVID positive? Your Supreme Court justice, or is Kavanaugh a new rapper? Um, because I'm getting old. Get that's an old person joke. Who's a new rapper? All right, Kavanaugh. Yeah, something tells. Look, a lot of people are not wearing masks when the cameras aren't on them. They told us. Remember, we don't talk about COVID on this channel, but they told us in the beginning you could have it and be contagious for like 2 weeks before you showed any symptoms, right? That's what they told us. He has no symptoms. So, so very weird. Let's look up this laundry sister thing. Here's what I don't get. All of a sudden, he's disappeared, and now everybody's a master criminal. Honestly, I would not know how to make a phone call to someone, right? Um, I don't have any phone numbers in my head anymore. I grew up with 1,000 phone numbers on in memory. I think I know two. My old phone number from my home, my old phone number that I had for like 20 years, and I think I may know my aunt's phone number, which is still the same after 50 years. Uh, so yeah, I don't even know what to tell you. I wouldn't even know how to make a phone call. Uh, there's not a very many internet cafes in America. Everybody's got a cell phone or a personal computer. It's not China, right? How would you even talk to people when you're on the run from the law? I find that they knew this, or I mean, even if they researched it, the government would know because the government is going to put what is it going to be called? It's like it's not so much a warrant for your, but they're gonna look through all his internet and shit, right, and his financials, and they're gonna know that you called him and you had a conversation about this when after the murder and when he got back and before they went to pick him up, and they're gonna want to know what was that conversation about, all right? And you're gonna have to come up with something because you can't lie to the feds. It's against the law. So you might as well just fucking keep your mouth shut and get a lawyer, but don't talk to him. I used to think I'm innocent. I'll talk to anybody. It's the wrong move, people. I mean, we've been talking about how unfair these lawyers are all day. So don't assume your judge and the prosecutor in your case are honest. Don't assume they want you to, but don't assume that. And don't assume your lawyer is competent. So I don't know what's going on with the American judicial system. I think it's a shit show. But you're not rich and famous, and they will bag you. So yeah, I don't know how this family is making phone calls or keeping in touch uh, in the shadows, like uh, like cartel members who move tons of drugs around. Right? They have networks, but they're criminals. They work in criminality for 30 years. You get better and better the longer you do something. Right? I mean, uh, what what was his sister doing that she's all of a sudden can communicate with him privately through surreptitious means? Laundry's, is it laundry or laundry? Laundry's sister. Let's do that. See what they say. Laundry's sister did see brother, contradicting previous statement. This is why you don't have your family say anything. Oh my God. All right. Here we go. Let's get into it. I was after a family of 22-year-old Gabby Petito issued a statement to the family of her fiance. So her family issued a statement to his family via the media. Do I have this right? All right, hold on. Hours after the family, all right, of 22-year-old Gabby Petito issued a statement to the family of her fiance, all right, for information in her disappearance. Member of his family speaking out. Um, all right, so when is this? September 17th. This was 2 weeks ago. All right. Brian Landy says Cassie broke her sounding scooching into with GMA on Thursday. Why you? Oh God! See, this is a thing. Obviously, me and my family want Gabby to be found safe. Landy said she's like a sister, and my children love her, and all I want for her to come home safe and found and come home safe and sound. And found this all to be just a big misunderstanding. Yeah, I wish I had a wishing stick too. Petito had been missing since late August. I mean, she's 22. Why had she called her girlfriend at the very least? What woman doesn't call their mother, right? At the very least. So, yeah. The letter from Petito's family was read by the family attorney, Richard Stafford, on Long Island. The family attorney is on Long Island, where both Petito and Laundrie are originally from, despite having lived in Florida for the past 2 years with Laundrie's parents. So he moved in with her, moved to Florida with her, and then moved into her parents' house. Then he got into this van to drive across country for her YouTube channel. The problem here was he was just a hanger on in this relationship, right? What was his life about other than being with her? And then it looks like they started getting into it, right? But you just can't walk away because now you're it's hard to extricate yourself from each other's life because you're so intertwined. You're essentially, yeah. So far, the lawyers have not aided in the investigation, citing advice from legal counsel, which authorities says hindering the investigation. So the lawyer said, "Don't say anything." But see, here's the thing about the fucking cops: the cops will tell the media you're hindering the best. How are they hindering it? They won't talk to us. That doesn't mean anything. They may not know anything. And following your law, like your lawyer's advice of not saying anything, doesn't mean you're hindering shit. I'm telling you, man. So far, the Lungies have not aided in the investigation. That's the tricky wording here. Citing advice from legal counsel, which is totally legit. Which authorities, the authorities in this case, are the cops, uh, saying it's illegal, right? Brown Laundrie has been named a person of interest in the case, and letter comes same day. Police in Utah released body cam footage. Look how fast they release this body cam footage uh, when they want to. And also encountered with the couple on August 12th, right? This is 5 days later. Um, Laundrie drove the Ford Transit van back to Florida on September 1st alone. Police said Petito's family filed a missing person report last Saturday with the Suffolk County Police. This is what's going to happen. If it hasn't, I mean, I'm sure they've done this already. They got his phone and the GPS pings on it, her phone and the GPS pings on it. The GPS locators in the car, because it's not 1972. Everybody's car has a computer in it. And then it's going to find out where they all were when all this went down. So yeah, Laundrie's attorney Steve Bertolino said the Laundrie family is hoping for Petito's safe return, but he's asked them not to speak with investigators. I mean, it looks bad for the dude, super bad for the dude. But I mean, there's been stories where the couple went out and they had a fight. I mean, this happened in New York a couple of times, and the guy left, went home, and then the lady went out with some other dude, and the dude aced her out. And people were like, "Yeah, where that boyfriend at?" But the boyfriend was like, he had an alibi somehow, and especially in the land of cell phones where everybody's online to know where you are, right? And sometimes the girlfriend was like, "Yeah, she met this dude," and people go, "Oh, okay." Her girlfriend who was out with her said she left with a different dude, right? So I mean, it's fucking dark, but it happens. Not, I mean, it looks like he did it, but not, and she's only 5'5". She's 110 pounds. I have laundry heavier than this. This is the saddest thing. And like I used to tell people in my police days, when women get into fights with men, you take a lot on that guy not doing anything to you. You really do. You really do, because the average dude is a giant to the average woman, right? And I walk around and I'm an average size guy. And I would say I'm about right, well, not middle of the pack, a little higher than the middle of the pack. But there's a ton of guys who are ginormous. And I live in a city of military people. Right? So not only are they all and ginormous, they're all trained killers and disciplined. And I can just imagine what some of these ladies are going through walking around here with these ill-raised sons. It's fucking ridiculous. But Jesus, Christmas, fighting dudes, it's not the mode, ladies. Just call him an asshole, leave, and never see him again. But the idea that people get into fist fights, you fighting for? You're like 100 pounds. 100 pounds. That's outrageous. It's so tiny. Oh my God, it's so sad. All right. So what did her sister say? Um, well, we just looked up her name. What was her name? Laundry sister. All right, let's look this little. That's not right. Laundry sister. All right, that's good enough. What is it? Laundry or laundry? Last contact with Sister Cassandra in question as manhunt intensifies. Brian Laundrie stopped by Sister's home on the day he returned to Florida. Okay. Brian Laundrie's sister may have made conflicting statements about the last time she saw him. But that doesn't mean you're lying, right? Does that mean you're lying? You got to have something more than. Brian Laundrie's sister joined her family on a camping trip days after Gabby Petito disappeared, seeming to contradict the statement she made that she hadn't recently seen her brother. She joined the family on a camping trip. Look, this is very simple. The authorities, meaning the cops and the attorneys, want to talk to you. Um, I find it hard to believe you don't know they want to talk to you. So you're obviously evading them, right? If you're evading them, that sounds like guilt to me. So either you're evading them in alive and trying to outrun them, like this is Brian Langer was caught. He's been on the run for 50 years. He had a family, right? You want that kind of thing happening, which is super unlikely. Um, or he's out in the woods and killed himself. So all this side sister stuff is to keep this thing interesting. Because if they don't find him, there is no case, and then the case goes away, and then you talk about something else, right? So this could just be to keep this story in the public eye. Yeah, he strikes me. Christopher and Roberta Laundrie, that his parents. Now the media's following your parents around. Oh my god! And then this fucking ridiculous person. Everybody want to show you this life like it's Petito Lloyd reveals grim info on remains found in Wyoming. What's the grim info? It sounds like he choked her out. Yeah. So what did she die of? Oh, that's not good. Oh, all right. We don't want that. What did she die of? I thought she was strangled. Oh, this seems fairly snarky. What is this about? Katie Couric torches Today rival, Stinky Prince Harry, ex-con Martha Stewart, and more. So her days as a journalist are over. So she can be this catty rich lady, because she's never going to be back on TV. Because who is now going to give you an interview, right? Martha. I mean, right? So who's going to give you an interview? There's no denying Katie Couric went there and with a lot of gasoline to his outrage and started to complain about from Today Show host's new book. Yeah, so she said mean things in a book about people. She took shots at today's host, Deborah Norville. Really? Okay. She just this is what happened, bro. She took shots at everybody. Prince Andrew, yeah. Um, you played the game, right? It made you super rich, but now just go away gracefully. It's not Brian Kavanaugh, it's Brett Kavanaugh, right? BTP. All right. Test positive for COVID. Yeah, all right. The Supreme Court is a club. It really is. I mean, you just watch them get it fucking wrong for the last 200 years. And then you can see them putting their friends on the court to make sure that the American citizenry is fucked and fighting for the next 30 years or whatever the fucking case it may be. Like 9 of them, I think 6 of them shouldn't be on the court. But that's just me. People instantly just go, what do you know about politics? Because you have to have bona fides, right? You have to go to a college they approve of, have a college education that they approve of, right? You have to raise money and live in a janky swine fucking place that they approve of. You just can't be a regular guy or girl out here going, God, you guys are making my life fucking worse. Oh, your life worse? Really? We make your life worse? Well, the problem here is you don't listen to us, and what we want is more wars and more taxing of you and less taxing of corporations and banks and all this shit. And if you had any what is it? Any what's the word I'm looking for? You would know that we're looking out for you, and you would be more appreciative of us. Now, if you'll excuse me, me and my armed guard detail are going to go and do some insider trading. You should go back to your $9 an hour job with no fucking uh, route out of it, right? There's no promotions. There's no. You're just working in the stockyard forever. Or you can go to college and you know get these useless degrees for $100,000 when no one will fucking hire you. I mean, there are people with college educations who have those placards, like and selling gum on the New York City subway. This society is so broken. It really is so broken. So yeah, I wonder how he got it. He probably got it at a what do they call it? A fundraiser, right? Oh look, if you give $10,000, you can meet one of the justices and have your picture taken with him. That's a scam, right? So if you give 1,000, you get a thank you and like they'll send you a picture, a signed picture of Hillary Clinton. If you give 2,000, you can come to the dinner and like be in the room with her. But if you get 5,000, oh well, then you get to be on the walk line and she'll shake your hand, she'll take a picture with you, and you can put that on like the mantelpiece. It's just the whole thing is just really fucking silly. Final Fantasy video game. I've never played Final Fantasy video game, and it's been around forever. I just never liked the art and the idea that people had giant swords. I was just like, why is your sword 10 feet long? What is that? Is this a phallic thing? And I think it is a phallic thing. All right. I should really finish Squid Game. I got like halfway through it, then I sort of stopped. See, this is the kind of bullshit pimp you for your emotional content that I'm talking about. Here's a headline. Gabrielle Union, the actress, Gabrielle Union recounts the challenges of having a child through surrogacy. What is your challenge other than paying the lawyer, right? Make sure your house is clean and there aren't, right? What are the challenges? I think the challenges aren't on you. Because, I mean, if you look at it darkly, you're just fucking buying a kid. I mean, if America did more, you wouldn't be able to sell these kids. Their families will have a shot. Is the Texas abortion law backfiring on the people who push it? We're going to be talking about abortion forever. Sotomayor tells the truth about the Supreme Court. Yeah. Jones site kills senior AI, senior Al Qaeda leader in Syria, Pentagon says. Oh, look, so they're still nuking people in Syria, though. Oh, this sounds like good. Man charged in fan assault at the Capitol to remain in jail after emotional hearing. Yeah, I mean, you're fucking fighting with the cops, right? Look, I get it. I absolutely get it. But what is your end goal here? To fight with the cops? You're going to overturn the justice system? Are you going to what other only thing that's going to happen? You're going to fight with the cops and get a warrant out for you. So I don't really get what their end goal was. And when I used to protest, I remember my last one with my guy was like the last protest we're going because Antifa started showing up, breaking up shit, smashing windows, throwing rocks at the cops. And I've seen this game before. Nothing gets done when they show up. And I think they were sent to these protests. And now everybody's carrying guns at protests. All right, the age of peaceful protests are over. If people are showing up with M16s, your peaceful protest is not a peaceful protest. It's a protest with guns waiting for somebody to let off a round. After 6.5 million in fake dollars seized from Russian plane at Philadelphia airport. 6.5 million in fake dollars. Why are Russians flying fake money in here? You know? And then the country, America, wants to have a base in Russia so they can look at what the Afghans are doing. What? No, idiot. Look, why are we so comfortable being in bed with the people who they keep telling us are our enemy? The Russians. Maybe you shouldn't have raised all this money telling that they were so bad for like the last 60 years. Are you going to come out and go, oh, the Russians aren't so bad? You're doing all this monetary business with the Chinese. Are you going to tell us that the Chinese aren't so bad? The people in charge are just man, they're a mess. People are ridiculous. Dog the Bounty Hunter, and he's back on TV. How a potent mix of frustration and optimism led to the Great Resignation. That's true. People are like, well, maybe I can. I can. The optimism is I can leave this stupid job, and maybe I can find another job during this pandemic, and that's what people are doing. And remember, at the beginning of this pandemic, people were saying everybody's lazy. They're sitting around like living large off that government stimulus check. Like you can live forever on what did they give you, $1,500? Meanwhile, other countries are giving people $30,000. Then they tried to say that look, you made them all squishy and lazy, and it was like no, there's no future in any of this shit. What is she in trouble again for? I heard that a lot of people think that that COVID scare thing was bullshit. Yeah, the Dems are going to lose the midterm. Oh, Kamala Harris' office does damage control after she praises ethnic genocide remark. Optimistic House will pass 1 trillion bipartisan. Look, see, I said it before, and I'll say it again. What the fuck? This woman. What is this one drop rule for fucking the Democrats when they need somebody to be black, right? No one in the community fucking knows this woman, but she'll tell you where her agents and her managers and her TV people how black she is because she went to black school, and she went to black school like what's the woman from Massachusetts, Pocahontas, the same vibe. Didn't she get to go to school being an Indian so she could get grants? She got to go being black to get grants. Yeah, Warren. It's just vile. They're not clever with their fucking race baiting and how they use people who could have used these positions. She's such a it's scuzzy the word, Jasmine Wright and Jeremy Diamond. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. Are we gonna read this? Do I want to get a drink before I read this? Oh, where's my guitar? All right, okay. Before we read this, uh I've been doing a lot of guitar stuff today. Trying to do chord progressions, and the most popular one, which is 1 4 uh 1 5 4 5, right? I'm sorry, 1 5 6 4. So I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta know what all this means. I wrote out these chords on this thing to play this song. Tomorrow's gonna be a music day. It's 6:30, but I'll probably jump on at like 5:30, 4:35, and just kind of do that because man, the politics has got me. I don't want another drink. What I want is more water, and my water jug is empty. All right. I used to be formidable. I got to go back to being formidable. All right. And a lot of that has nothing to do with John Rankin. Here's the thing: we stream every day, so you can't drink every night. You really can't. It's bad mojo, really bad mojo. Uh, like the occasional thing that I was doing was fun, and that was a little too rough, but that wasn't every day. And now I'm drinking every night on stream. Can't do it. But I need something to do with my hands. Excuse me. Ugh. All right, let's read this stupid thing. Kamala Harris. I can already feel my heartbeat rising. Whew. All right. Vice President Kamala Harris, that's your vice president of these here United States of America. Vice President Kamala Harris' office is trying to contain the fallout from an exchange earlier this week. Earlier this week, when was this? This is today. This happened early in the week? Okay. Uh, Vice President Kamala Harris' office is trying to contain the fallout from an exchange earlier this week between the vice president and a student who characterized Israel's actions toward the Palestinians as an ethnic genocide and a displacement of people. That doesn't sound wrong. While visiting a political science class at George Mason University, hey, my nephew went there on Tuesday to honor National Voters Registration Day. So why do we have to do this dancing around Israel? It's why 10 years ago Israel's popularity in the country was way up here, right? 80s, 90s, and now it's down here, 70s, 80s, because it's been 20 years of warfare and seeing fucked up people do fucked up things to innocent people, and they're not excluded from that. People are also going, man, Iraq women, uh, uh, Iran women can't drive, and there's so one in Iraq, and women and children are being bombed and killed. And oh my God! And oh, by the way, the Palestinians are, they're included in that conversation, and the Israelis may not want them to be, but they are. While visiting a political science class at George Mason University, I want to hear how the White House uh, backtracks this. While visiting a political science class at George Mason University on Tuesday to honor National Voter Registration Day, our day somehow, Harris took question from three students, including one who brought up the nation's funding of Israel in a lengthy question. Yeah, you brought up how the power of the people in the demonstration organizing is very valuable in America. I see that over the summer there have been like protests. There have been like protests and demonstrations and astronomical numbers done with Palestine. But then just a few days ago, there were funds allocated to continue backing Israel, which hurts my heart because it's that ethnic genocide and the displacement of people. The same that happened in America, and I'm sure you're aware of this. As soon as said in part for question, saying that the funding occurs as Americans suffer at home. Yeah. So why are we giving them money when people here don't have? Yeah. And I feel like there's a lack of listening. I just can't. I just feel like I need to bring that up because it affects my life and people I really care about life. The students say that is a really good question. She asked a good question. Uh, put it in with the fact that people are still protesting, right? Um, I'm gonna go. There's a thing on the window again. God, dang it! All right, all right. I can see that stupid thing, and it makes me crazy. It's a really good question, right? She asked about Israel in context of what we do here. She asked about money in the context of people here needing the money and people are hurting here. And then she said the whole thing hurts her because people she knows, this is a person questioning her, because people she knows and she likes are having this problem in their life, right? Harris, whose husband, second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, is Jewish, responded. I'm glad you did. I said it before and I'll say it again. If you look up Israel population, half their population lives here. That that should be a problem. How do you have half a country living here? It's a problem. I view it as a problem, right? You don't have half the Chinese living here. Could you fucking imagine? Could you fucking imagine half the British people living here? Could you fucking imagine? No one's half of anyone's whole society should be living in another country. All right. And again, this is about the fact that your voice, your perspective, your experience, your truth cannot be suppressed and it must be heard. See, this is that old bullshit talk. Your voice, your truth. The fuck does that even mean? Oh boy. Our goal should be unity. Yeah, more bullshit talky talk. Yeah, our goal should be unity, but not uniformity. See, what is this? I think they just think these kind of like fucking one liners up around coffee in the morning. Ah, our goal should be unity, not uniformity. It's like she's riffing on some kind of uh Flip Wilson. Anybody? No, Flip Wilson is too old for you guys. Flip Wilson was old when I was a kid, and he had these kind of like movies, like one-liners for comedy, right? And this is what it sounds like. This sentence says nothing. Let's read it again. And again, this is about the fact that your voice, your perspective, your experience, your truth cannot be suppressed. Okay, so you're gonna govern by checking what everybody's truth is. You better have a fucking universal plan for everybody. It must be heard. And a lot of people, oh my God, our goal should be unity, but not uniformity, Harry said. And the point that you're making about politics, policies that relate to the Middle East policy, foreign policy, we still have healthy debate in our country about what is the right path, and nobody's voice should be suppressed on that. The lack of pushback from Harris. So now the Jewish community is mad that she didn't defend them vigorously. Who does she work for? The lack of pushback from Harris to the students while taking questions during the visit has become the latest hiccup for her office that faces a turbulent summer. All right, this one I don't think is on her. How dare you demand the Vice President of America more vigorously defend Israel? She doesn't work for them. Her answer was bullshit enough. That's right. But you make it worse by going, this is what we told you to say. I already don't like the fact that you can't get elected without a foreign nation support. What? Yeah, don't get me fucking started. I will rip holes in this shit. Let's look up what a fifth columnist is, just so people know. It's an old poem. All right. Um, do I even want to finish reading this bullshit? I kind of want to see what the White House said about it. And nobody should suppress that. The lack of pushback from Harris to the student while taking questions during the visit has become the latest hiccup for her office that faces a turbulent summer. That faces the past tense. That face a turbulent summer. She didn't have a turbulent summer. She was quiet all summer. She had 3 fuck ups, right? She had the border. What was the other 2 that she was? Oh, the most recent one was whether this COVID thing was fake, and there was something else. I think it was her not going to the border. Something, the COVID thing with the View turned out to be could have been faked, right? And there was another one that I can't remember right now. The lack of pushback. The latest communication mishap comes on particular for a topic as progressives and other actors have been putting pressure on Democrats to take a more critical stance toward Israel, which has long enjoyed bipartisan support in Washington. Yeah, yeah. After that exchange, Harris senior staff has been reaching out to the heads of several leading pro-Israel organizations. Yeah, who do they work for? Per a source familiar with the Harris office. Her team began to reach out to heads of several leading Jewish organizations after those leaders reached out to the White House to express their concern. We will not tolerate your fucking president being off base. Yes, Israel, we're sorry. Yep, no, we'll fix it. We'll fix it immediately. Jewish organization, after those leaders reached out to the White House to express their concern. 2 people with direct knowledge of the conversation. I hate this because you could just be making this up. Tell me who these people are, or stop quoting hidden sources. Right? I could write you a whole story about hidden sources who didn't want to be named, and I bet you it'd be all bullshit. Harris Deputy National Security Advisor Phil Gordon and Herb Ziskind, the Vice President's Deputy Communication Director, led the outreach. The source said, making clear that Harris Sanders did not equate agreement with students' claim of ethnic genocide. Her silence, she wasn't silent, she said something. And boy, there's a recognition that the impression left by her failure, they called her a failure, her failure to correct the student. Hold it, wait. If it's her truth, how's she correcting anybody's? Man, these fucking people are so full of shit. This is why we're perpetually at war. The recognition that the impression left by her failure to correct this student is problematic and does not reflect her commitment to a strong U.S. Israel relationship, nor of the president and the administration. William Darrett, the CEO of Conference of Presidents, the CEO of the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations. How many of these fucking people are in this country? Just in politics to get, man, lobbying is legalized bribery. All this shit to me smacks of treason and traitorous shit. But they're getting a check, so it can't be that. Because everybody knows that traitor wouldn't take money to. Oh, no, wait, that's not true either, is it? The fucking idea. Harris's team reach out to the head of these three organizations. I'm not voting for this woman. They're going to lose the presidential election in 2 years. You watch. Mark my fucking words. These people are a shit show. The Democratic majority for the Israel, the Conference of President of Major American Jewish Organizations, and the Anti-Defamation League. How is this anti-defamation? You know, this reminds me of what the South Africans were saying about apartheid when it was falling. This implies you're stupid. Let me explain to you what's really going on here. Hey, we allow a little corruption because bigger. Yeah, exactly. A little corruption becomes a lot larger. And we had enough corruption to begin with. Yeah, it's true too. Yeah. Let's put these up. Wow. Yeah. I mean, corruption in all phases of this thing, right? The South, right, with its history, corrupted the essentially corrupted the judicial system, which is one of the first things that you need to fix. Because if you fix the judicial system, you wouldn't be able to keep bad politicians around. They would actually get arrested. One thing, I'm not big on China, but one thing China does, I remember a few years ago, a mall fell down. And the first thing they did, as the news reporters were rolling up to get shots of the building, China announced that it had arrested the owner of the place and the architect of the place and someone else, and they walked them in handcuffs, right? And I said this on this show. China is run by the Communist Party. America is run by corporations, right? So you had that building fall down in Florida at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. when everybody's home asleep. No arrests. It's not even in the media anymore. So I think the world knows they come here with money from foreign countries, and they can spread around Washington because, like we just said, lobbying is legal bribery. Yeah, they're absolutely about the power of it, not the the showy bullshit of it. They're about the power of the place. I mean, they had a a leader. What do they call them? The chairman, the chairman of the party. He wanted to open up China, and they arrested him and his wife and threw them in jail. Gave them 40-year sentences, and then Winnie the Pooh took over. Right. So the guy who wanted to do what uh not Brezhnev. Well, the guy who wanted to do what uh what's the Russian leader with the birthmark on his head? Not Barishnikov. He's a dancer. Well, you know what I'm talking about. What he wanted to do, and then there was a coup, and people insisted that he be let go. There's a coin map. Thank you, Gorbachev. We try not to throw links in the chat, man. Y'all have no doubt. I just have to read it before we throw a link up there. Yeah, I mean, America and its allies Oh, was I reading this small? I should have been reading this big. I'm sorry. Do we even want to finish this? Because it just sounds like the Israelis are mad that she didn't take a full 30 defense of them like they pay her to. And now they're dragging her out in public and giving her a ass whipping in the spotlight that you will do what we tell you to. So I'm wondering what the rest of this article can obviously be about, other than and this is not the only country that we do this to. We do this to Syria. Remember the royal family, Barack Obama and George Bush had to hold those dudes' hand and bow to them and all this shit. Absolutely out of the question. All out of the question. Just walk in as heads of state and shake your hand as equals and call it that. No one should be bowing to you. No one's American wife, who's the vice president of this, or the first lady, should have to wear a veil to make you feel better. Happens with the Vatican too, right? They wanted what is her name, to wear like the black veil when she met the Pope. So the Pope, you can go kick rocks. I got all sorts of problems with the Pope and that city that's as big as like what, 8 blocks, but it gets to be its own nation. I mean, things change, right? So some of this stuff that you've been doing for 1,000 years should fall away. And if it doesn't fall away for you, then why the fuck are you saying that it can't exist in Syria or Afghanistan or any of these other places who want to live their 1,000-year-old bullshit? How am I wrong? Right? How am I wrong? After the exchange, Harris Senior staff has been reaching out to heads of state, blah blah blah. This whole story is about her team reaching out to people to say I'm sorry. In a statement, Harrison spokeswoman Simone Sanders said the vice president strongly disagreed with the students' characterization of Israel. If she did, she would have said it when it happened. Throughout her career, the vice president has been unwavering in her commitment to Israel and to Israel's security. Throughout her career, okay? While visiting George Mason University to discuss voting rights, a student voiced personal opinion during a political science class, Sanders said. Harris' office handled it in part by communications team, had taken a deliberate stance in trying to clean up this latest issue. An additional source familiar with the Harris office outreach told seeing the vice president team distributed facts on her record on Israel and her defense to allies, emphasized her unwavering commitment to Israel. Yeah, see, this is why you shouldn't be vice president. Anybody got any unwavering fucking support for Americans? I'm just wondering. Because man, this is what we got here. In the last month, we've had a botched exit from Afghanistan with the death of 13 soldiers, and I don't hear much about that. You got one of the guys who was heavily critical, Lieutenant Commander Scheller, right? We talked about this, William. He's in jail now. But the story of the day is Kamala Harris's unwavering support to a foreign nation. Why is she the vice president? Harris also was touched with the Sophia Group as well. The CEO of the Anti-Defamation League on Thursday said she had spoken with the man. She had to go and just kiss all these asses with the Harris office for the vice. I mean, wow. Just spoke with at VP office. Glad to hear her confirm she's proud of her record supporting Israel. And claims its commitment ethnic genocide is patently false. No one said that. You said that. You said that. No one said that. Did she say it was patently false? Jonathan Greenblatt tweeted Thursday, looking forward to clearing of the record so there's no ambiguity that what the student said was hateful and wrong. So now you're going to attack the fucking student. Yeah, these fucking people, a lot of people just need to be arrested in American government. In a statement to CNN, Greenblatt added, making accusations of Israel committing genocide. It is committing genocide. An incendiary claim that is patently and demonstrably untrue. That statement is demonstrably untrue. Needed to be called out because it's the demonization, not demonetization. This is YouTube. Demonization that has led to violence Wait a minute, hold on. Who the, it needs to be called out because it's that demonization that has led to violence, as we saw in the United States earlier this year, referencing attacks on Jews in U.S. streets in May. Hold it. So somebody criticizing you leads to violence in America? Oh, you know what? I got a whole bag of fuck you for all these people. I mean, no one actually takes them on seriously. They're obviously fucking lying. I mean, the world is not stupid. Everybody can see what's going on in Palestine, right? Uh, and we fund all this shit. We just had the Iron Dome thing, gave these people $1 billion. Why are we giving them money when we're suffering here? You know, the people in charge, them. I mean, this is how you wake up one morning and the government has taken over because it's gotten this silly. All right, I need more water. All right, so this whole article is about her calling everybody and kissing their ass, and then them coming up on TV going, everybody's completely in the pocket of where we need them to be, and that's fine. So, yeah, we were pleased that Vice President Harris' senior staff reached out to us today, confirmed that what we already knew, that we own them completely. I'm sorry, her commitment to Israel's security is unwavering, and she strongly disagreed with George Mason students' characterization of Israel. Melman wrote in a statement, the Biden-Harris administration, as well as President Biden and Vice President Harris personally, have exemplary pro-Israel records of which we, man, oh boy, it makes me mad because I watch this bullshit go down. You give the money and then you kill black people here in the States. All right. And they'll tell you that the same two people will tell you that America is not racist. But then those two people will tell you that everything is fine in Israel. It's just what? It's are you fucking serious right now with this logic? My gosh. Um, the House last week easily approved a $1 billion in funding for Israel Iron Dome aerial defense system. People are firing rockets, homemade rockets with shit from fucking the equivalent of fucking Walmart and Lowe's, right? Sporting a home like improvement store essentially. And you can't do that because there's so much stuff that you can't get in there. This locked out, this open air prison. Tell you, I said before, they haven't changed the borders and they haven't changed the flag, but they've totally changed the country. Totally changed the country. And we're always in bed with evil. We're always at war and we're always in bed with evil. So you might want to be wary because just because you think we're the good guy does not mean we're the good guy, right? So the question then, when you ask this that way, wait, is fucking China the good guy? No, China's not the good guy. Neither is Russia. So who's the good guy? It's a good point. And you may go, well, in this room, everybody may be bad, but somebody has to be the good guy. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Sometimes maybe the good guys don't say shit, right? Sometimes the good guys don't do shit. I don't know who the good guys would be. But I mean, the world runs this way because it's been running this way for about 1,000 years. And all the people who claim to be good people, America, Britain, most of Europe, not. I mean, you can just look at the German history and see that their history isn't one of tolerance and being open, right? They walked with the world twice. The Japanese uh, did sinister shit during the war. Sinister shit that people just kind of like, and then kidnapped all these women to drag them around to rape them while they went to war with people. All this evilness. So it's not just the European and the West, right? There's a lot of dark shit happening that we're not unfamiliar with unless you read up on like the Orient, what they used to call the Orient, Asian culture, right? China, Japan, North and South Korea, when it was one Korea. Uh, even the Philippines to an extent with how They're sort of Asian, but sort of Spanish. Um, just look at. I mean, it wasn't like they weren't warned and everything was fine there, but it was just kind of crazy in Europe. Like so, I mean, the banananess is bananas. Just eight. The House last week approved 1 billion in funding for Israel Iron Dome and air defense systems, advancing the bill to the Senate for consideration with just 8 Democrats and 1 Republican voting against the measure. So, how many people are in the Senate? There are 536 senators, right? And only 8 Democrats said no, and 1 Republican. The Air Defense System, which has for years been eagerly sponsored by the United States, is designed to intercept rockets midair by targeting them and firing interceptor missiles to destroy them before they can kill civilians living in Israel. This week, first of all, those before they can kill civilians. Yeah, it sounds ominous, but those things don't travel far. It's not like they get into the city, right? They have like they go up and then they fall down, but they're not. I mean, America is giving military ordinance for this shit. And the people who are firing don't, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't have fucking military skill with this. Like I said, they're making this shit from like Home Depot and Lowe's with and when was the last time anything crazy happened? But I will tell you, this hatred is not going anywhere. And maybe we should either arm both parties and step back or help them wipe out the fucking Palestinians. Either way. But this whole "I'm going to hold your hand while other people beat you up" is just you know it's asking for a karmic comeuppance. And America's fucking due. I mean, it had 2 genocides. America has had 2 genocides, and no one said a fucking word about it, right? So we'll see what happens. Um, we've been streaming for an hour. Uh, yeah, this story is about how her and her team kissed their asses. And then the second half of the story is about how the people that they call got on to the media and was like, "We own these people." Targeting fire interceptors. Yeah, I mean, it sounds rocket sounds. Oh my god, they got rockets, but they're like what you'd make at like seventh grade fucking high school shit, right? You can knock these things down, but don't get it wrong. Something going up and kills randomly, it still kills somebody. But it's not like there are thousands being dropped on you. And to give them $1 billion for this is really just fucking ridiculous. Before targeting the fire interceptors destroying them, before they can kill civilians living in Israel. This week, legislation specifically would provide funding to replace missile interceptors that were used during heavy fighting with Hamas in May. Hamas is a different story. Last spring, a number of congressional Democrats ramped up pressure on Biden administration to more forcefully engage on the Israel-Palestine conflict as violence in the region intensifies. It's time to have serious conversations about conditioning military aid. Right? Yeah, just could give them and do whatever you want. Wipe out them and their babies. Now we're fine. Kill them with American ordinance. Yeah, we're fine. It's good. I mean, I tell you, Israel is just a sinister thing going on over there. A group within a country at war, it's not always at war, who are sympathetic to working for the enemy. The term dates from the Spanish Civil War when General Mola, leading 4 columns of troops toward Madrid, declared that he had a 5th column inside the city. Yeah, 5th columnists, people who work against you from within your own country. It's sort of a bad thing. Yeah, she went to Harvard just to get that degree. So I mean, to get student aid money under the guise of "I'm black and my name is Kamala." Yeah, no, she's Indian and she went to an all black university. But hey, if I went to the giant Jewish school or whatever, I just went there. That doesn't mean I'm Jewish. And this is what you have here with Kamala Harris. Panama warns up to 60,000 migrants on the way to the border. Look, how do you fix this problem? You can't keep having 100,000 people show up every month. You can't. How are you going to fix this problem? I mean, they ridiculed the wall, but you're going to need a wall or a fucking moat, or to shoot at them at the very least, right? Or to kill. I mean, we have a war on our southern border, or to kill these coyotes, right? I mean, what if uh, if everybody steals and the what are they doing out there? If everyone steals and the punishment for stealing is a smack on the wrist, and then more people steal, then maybe the next thing is a punch in the face, and then more people steal. Then it's a hit with a rope, and then more people steal. Then a hit with a stick, and then more. Right, you get to a point where we hit this thing, this punishment, and less people are stealing. Right, you're supposed to ratchet up what you're doing to stem the thing you're trying to stop. Uh, all we have is pretty talk, but this is how you should approach it. You should let these southern nations know we are not fucking. We give them money too. We are not fucking with you. Everybody has their hand out, and America doesn't make anybody do anything, because as soon as these people, in my opinion, get these slots, the first thing they do is they make themselves comfortable. And like I say, it's a fiefdom, right? Everybody's their own little kingdom and their own little lord and their own little fiefdom. They don't care about the bigger picture. The idea that the drug situation is as bad as it is, with the Sacklers essentially selling drugs, in my opinion, selling drugs to a billion people, not a billion people, but to, like, the whole country, and getting countless families drugged out, and nothing happens to them, tells you that everyone's like, oh, it's America is a free for all. You can do anything you want there. So someone's going to have to tighten this ship up, and then we'll see where we go. But yeah, half of your country living here is fucked up. Just like half of your country just showing up on the border and staying here is just as fucked up. Um, let's look at the border. Panama government warns thousands more migrants coming for border. Diplomat says Panama sounded the alarm on Haitian migrants. How are they walking through your country? You should not let them walk through your country. Darien Gap. What date is this? 29th of March. More and more migrants are trying to reach the U.S., but where does their journey begin? Hundreds of people from all over South America, some as far away as Africa, are arriving in increasing numbers on the border between Colombia and Panama. This is where they stay, the long, arduous journey to the U.S. It takes up to 20 days and can be deadly, but hundreds of people embark on it every day. They feel that the risk is worth it if it means they might reach the U.S. to start a new life. Yeah, you don't know who these people are, and I'm not saying all of them are bad guys, but there's a lot of bad guys in there. There's a lot of bad guys in there. And I would also like to remind you, we do things differently here in America. The men treat their women differently here in America. When you flood this place with people who have a fuck you women kind of attitude, or racist attitude, or anti-Semitic attitude, why are you importing this shit? Much less letting hundreds of thousands of them just walk over the border, right? I don't know what to do, quite frankly. I would have a heavy hand with this. I would deal with the nations too. You're letting people do this. Panama and Colombia reach a deal to manage migration. Panama, Colombia reached deal to manage migration over shared border 2 minutes ago. It's a 2 minute read. August 11th, 2021. This was a month ago, about 3 weeks ago. Look at it. I mean, you do this with these two children. I feel bad for you, but no, get out of here. That's outrageous. On top of this, we have problems here that you really do need to fucking fix, and they won't. And the people who won't fix that problem won't fix this problem. And when these people show up, they won't show up to the country clubs and you know what I'm saying? They're going to be in like these poor, impoverished zones, and they're going to get worse. Going to breed more drugs and nonsense. And for everybody with the "I came here from Panama and now I'm a lawyer" story, there's going to be 100,000 of them who don't have that story. Panama and Colombia agreed on Wednesday to receive up to 650 migrants each day amid humanitarian crisis at their shared border, where thousands of migrants are stranded in northern Colombia, waiting to continue north toward the United States. If they can't get here, now you have them trapped in your country. Now what? Now you have to send them back. Look, Haiti is a failed country, not because those people are idiots. Haiti is a failed country because Europe stood on Haiti's neck. If you know Haitian politics, Europe undid Haiti. Europe, just like Europe has been undoing places in Africa, selling war and keeping fermenting violence going, and letting their little armies kill fucking people in sandals in Africa. Yeah, I'm looking at England, who still has a foothold in Africa, and France, still like apparently the only people France can go to war with are uh, people in Africa, right? Selling people steam submarines. Get the fuck out of here. Uh, the whole thing just doesn't make any sense. Panama and Colombia agree on only 600 migrants, 650. That's it. Out of the thousands who show up, thousands of migrants are stranded at the border. Only 650 agreed on Wednesday to receive up to 650 migrants each day. Thousands of migrants, most of them Haitian, but also from Cuba and various African countries, are stuck in Nicole, a remote resort on the Caribbean coast of Colombia, waiting for scarce boat transport toward Panama's dangerous Darien Gap region, which many will cross on foot. Many migrants were held back by COVID-19 border closures and have recently overwhelmed reopening crossing points. How do you let people? How do you let people get here like they have a ticket to get into the country? Right? You let them jockey to get to the border, but then they can't get in. So they're stuck in your country. I would make it a I don't I'm not big on the death penalty, but I would fucking make it a death penalty for coyotes to fuck with this. Just so they know. Now I'll stick with regular drugs because this mode is too dangerous. Right? It's not worth it. Um yeah. And I also think the border patrol is fucking weak and lazy. Yeah, it's one thing to sit in your office and get fat in your green suit with your cowboy hat talking shit. It's another thing to fucking do fucking ops and like let people know that you caught XYZ of these people and they're going to jail. I don't see a lot of that happening. A staggered number was established down. A staggered number was established downward, first to address the crisis from 650 and progressively toward 500 with specific days within which they can enter. More so, the news conference after virtual meeting with officials from 9 countries, including Colombia, the United States, and Canada. The agreement will be approved. Look, if I would do this, they would so piss off Canada. I would give people a jump from here straight to the Canadian border and see how they like it. Like the idea is to keep people from tracking through your country to get to America, right? And in doing that, down there where you are, you have to attack the coyotes and these other smugglers. But they don't because most of those places are bought off by the cartels, and they keep their head down. Amazing. Mouynes, Moniz say less than 1% of migrants who pass through Panama request asylum on the isthmus. So they're not even trying to say, they're trying to skip Panama and get to America. Most of the migrants are Haitian and Cuban, but there are also Africans and Asians. Yeah, people don't like being in China. China's a gulag. When I say Asian, I'm pretty sure they're not from Japan, which you can come here, right? And I'm pretty sure they're not from South Korea, which you can come here. They're from China and they're from North Korea. But whew, getting out of North Korea is a problem. So maybe they're not North Koreans. Colombia's migrant director John Juan Francisco Espinoza said that the number of migrants in Necoli dropped to 3,000 on Tuesday from the high of 12,000 last week. Not even last year, last week. It was 7 days ago. Lord. So far this year, a record of more than 42, so far this year, 42,000 migrants have arrived to Panama through Darien, with authorities expecting the figure will continue to rise as the border reopens worldwide. Ecuador departed 1,000 after 111 dying, worst prison riot ever. Yeah, all these gulags. And then shit spills over out into the world, and you're like, hey, we're good to our citizens. People are like, no, you're not. I mean, people are fleeing Haiti because there's nothing there. I mean, have you seen pictures of Haiti? I mean, there's trash everywhere. We could look up some of Haiti's history. There's nothing. It's sad. Train has derailed. PM speaks to CNN about crisis in Haiti. Oh. People are starving. And no one goes to Haiti to cover this story because Haiti is a hole. So they don't even want to be there. David Letterman famously went to Haiti and he was there for 3 days. He flew in, he did one show there, then he flew out the third day. Not David Letterman, Conan O'Brien. Everyone else is there for a week, right? I mean, what do you do? This guy's bullshit. I would fire him immediately. I mean, what do you do? These guys don't even have on socks. Look at, I mean, it's just crowded with people. There are no tree, like they knocked down all the trees for fucking farm wood, so the forest is destroyed, the environment is destroyed. Now you're just breeding in these boxes. These fucking little boxes. I really hate this thing. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get rid of you. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Look at this. No painting, just people in these tiny little boxes trying to trying to what? What are you trying to do? I mean, who works where? It really is. Haiti, the tragedy of Haiti is that European countries have been attacking it since its start, since they were the first nation to win freedom, right? They've been sort of targeted to go, black people can't run their country anywhere because, I mean, they had to pay billions of dollars to France. And France, since the I want to say the 1840s, and France just forgave the loan because it looked bad. People were like, wait, they've been paying you for 150 years? Oh, you know, we're going to forgive that loan, right? I mean, what? So, I mean, once you get in front of television cameras, all of a sudden people are like, wow, this is really, look at this. I mean, but you do manage to get like American ordnance in there. Look at this. These always make me like fucking laugh. I mean, they've got like military boots and pants. Look at these out of shape, like, you know, these carriers, they look really nice to carry, but you know, they're not bulletproof. Man, It's dark. It's so dark. I mean, Haiti is a mess. And then you had the UN down there raping women. The new UN peacekeeper ordered to pay child support. Haitian Haitian court orders UN peacekeepers to pay child support in landmark case. The verdict marks an important first step toward justice. The court in coastal town of Jacmel recently announced a decision after its judgment in late December. Sandra Wisner, a senior attorney for the Boston-based Institute for Justice and Democracy in Haiti, told the News Corporation. The group has been working with the Haitian-based Bureau of Advocates, I guess, Bureau de Advocates International, Bureau of International Advocates, to represent several Haitian women who were impregnated and abandoned by UN peacekeepers. The BAI initially claimed on behalf of 10 Haitian women in 2017. Yeah, fucking ridiculous. The whole thing is fucking ridiculous. We're just gonna go over there and treat whatever you send us fucking like it's the Wild West. We're gonna fucking beat up, be dark to people. We're gonna fucking rape and like, and then we're just gonna leave and just act like nothing ever happened. And all these people show up there. Look at this building, and it's still there. No one removed it. They don't even have. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, Haiti is a mess. And Haiti is a mess because of, quite frankly, the West, primarily France, because France held a grudge uh, since Haiti kicked its them out as their oppressors. Then kidnapped like their version of George Washington, sent him back to France where he died in a cell after freeing Haiti. Good Lord. Tragic story of Haiti. All right. We're not going to read this whole thing, but we're just going to get some of the fat bullet points. Colonial era Spanish rule 1492 to 1625, French rule 1625 to 1804, Haitian revolt 1791 to 1804. Then they won independence, and then it's been like economy and foreign aid, government politics, geography, climate, personal income. What is a personal income? $2 a day or less. Most Haitians in the labor force have informal jobs. 3/4 of the population lives on US $2 a day or less. Agriculture, currency, cruise ship destinations, tourism, transport in Haiti, airports, buses, Haiti's population. Yeah, your population gets bigger if you got men and women in the zone. Yeah, you're running out of space on that tiny little island. So 56 is Catholic, holdover of colonialism. Catholic and Protestant, small 3% other. So where are all the Catholics? Where's the Pope helping these people out? Music and dance. All right. Law enforcement and crime. You're living off $2 a day. Jean Pierre Boyer, ruler of Haiti, 1808 to 1843. Unification of Hispaniola. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a dismal and dark and ridiculous story. Uh, how the world got to be the way it is, and it's not people just fucking it up on their own accord. It's people in government working against people, to get rich, knowing full well that no one will ever look to them. And that you have the same thing here in America, right? And I think it's sort of like a global cabal that's like, yeah, we're not going to let these people off off the bottom, and we're going to only war with like the super poor. Man, look, if you know World War II, there were so many. I'll fight your battle and you fight my battle. And if he's fight, and it got everybody caught up. Why are we fighting battles for some of these places? At this point, if your nation should fall away and be absorbed, right? Why does America have to come and fucking stand your nation up? You know, I mean, think about it. It's a really good question. Do you want your kids dying in a war to save Italy if Italy was to be something different, right? Why? So you can go and hang out in the Trevi Fountain? I don't know, man. I don't know. What if Canada invaded because America could not get its shit together? Or America invaded Canada because or America invaded Mexico. Mexico cannot get its shit together. Who says Mexico should keep being a country if it cannot? I mean, well, for Mexico has issues. The cartels essentially run Mexico, right? But I don't want to say they run it because they're uninterested in governing. They just want to be fucking left alone to do whatever they're going to do. And if you try and stop them, they kill politicians. So that's that's the thing. So I think Mexico probably might be a better place if they were like, we're going to run it. The schools need to run on time. But I think they would very much be like China, right? North Korea, authoritarians. There won't be a lot of conversation. It'll just be it's going down. What are these? Let's open this one. Let's go to that. Crypto in China, the inescapable crackdown. Few headlines are as frequently reported in the crypto world that some variation of China cracks down on crypto. China stands as one of the countries most interwoven in the crypto movement, but it's simultaneously one of its strongest detractors. While there is no real way to quantify the impact of news on the crypto market, China and crypto often appear together in headlines during periods of market volatility. The unstable yet unavoidable relationship in sitcom terms is rivaled only by Ross and Rachel of Friends. Despite being comically dysfunctional, the relationship continuously captures the public attention in a way that nothing else can. Largely due to the spectacle and feeling of inevitability that surrounds it. But what is the current state of crypto in China, and why does the country's regulators keep putting its potential to be a major crypto player on a break? Yeah, I heard that I think it's because they can't control it. They can't control this money. These are all your criminals. Lee Keqiang, front row, third from right. Front row, third from right. Or is this the third from right? Or is this third from right? This has to be the third from right. This is our right. We're going this way. He's the third from right. Okay. Um, with Jinping Center and the opening of the National Congress in Beijing on Friday. Their whole shit was failing, and they just went to capitalism. They're still communists, but their communist math wasn't working out, so they went to capitalism. They got all this money from us because we're fucking stupid. Everyone knows we'll do anything for money, and they broke us. I can't even finish this. All right, what's the other one? Uh, blockchain. Hold it. Let's go here. All right. Oh, that's right. Gotta subscribe, boys and girls. All right. Well, there you have it. I guess we Kill this. I'm gonna end it here. It's 8 o'clock. It is your Friday. It was cold all day today. Now all of a sudden it's warm AF. You notice there's no more fan down there because the wind sort of just got bitingly cold. All right, so it is Friday. It is 8 o'clock. I have to freaking figure this is what I've been doing today. This is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So these helps to write stuff down. Are chord progressions for guitar, and I ran into a little problem. One, this down here, ho ho half ho ho ho, right? That confused me because that somehow is supposed to go with this up here, which is uh major minor minor major major minor diminished, right? So this is what I've said this before. You're slowly reading this and trying to figure out how to be a musician and do reading all this stuff, and then all of a sudden your brain is just kind of like, wait, what is that? Does that mean that, or does that mean this? Kavanaugh the rapper comes out. What? Do not tell me there's a Kavanaugh rapping video somewhere that we can dig up right now. Kavanaugh the rapper. Okay, I'm gonna look up this. Oh, me? I'm just gonna look up Kavanaugh the rapper. Rapper activist Missone thinks Kavanaugh is a threat. September 4. Rapper Missone arrested for protesting Kavanaugh. Why this rapper activist thinks Kavanaugh is a threat. Rap lyrics. Kavanaugh takes the stage in the pivotal House race. Rap lyrics. Kavanaugh takes the stage in. Who is this guy? I've never heard of this dude before. Soul not for sale. Why this rapper activist thinks Kavanaugh is a threat to democracy. Okay, well, at least he's engaged. Does anybody know his song? Mysonne. All right. Where is your Wikipedia? Okay, Wikipedia. I'm getting old because I don't even understand what. Look how small this font is. Wikipedia Die Friesen. Why is this Wikipedia in fucking German? Okay, well, there you have it. Oh my God. Yeah, Wikipedia sent me to Germany. All right, there you have it. I just wanted to see what songs he had, but I couldn't even find that. So I think he's a rapper. I'm sure he's got music out. But he's probably a rapper like I'm like a scientist. I was gonna say guitarist, but then that hurt my feelings. I didn't want to say that about myself. Uh, they were talking about criminal records of the Super Bowl rappers. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, so the Super Bowl is gonna have Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and like three other dudes. But I was like, why are all these black rappers with criminal pasts doing the Super Bowl? Then I was thinking, they're doing it because it sounds like the people who they want Eminem, but Eminem has a thing about authenticity, right? So he likes, unless it's his rap group. His rap group sucks, by the way. D12, they're not very good. Royce the 5'9" is really really good, and oh, who's that other dude? I forget his name, but he was really good. But the core group of dudes, they're not awesome. Um, and since you need like 15 minutes to blow the doors off the Super Bowl, right? You're gonna have to get these other guys who Parents are gonna go, excuse me, this is a family show, and we are shocked. And how dare you? I mean, let's look up some of these Super Bowl halftime show. Let's see what we got. Super Bowl halftime show to feature Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, who doesn't have a criminal record, and look, Kendrick Lamar is fine, right? Kendrick Lamar is fine. Mary J. Blige is fine. Eminem is fine. Snoop Dogg beat the case on a double murder 20 years ago. Uh, you shouldn't forget that, right? There are still two people dead, even if corporate America doesn't talk about it. And I have a problem with Dr. Dre and NWA, niggas with attitudes, just because, like I've always said, rap music was one way before they showed up, and they made it about violence and guns. And all these years later, it's still about violence and guns. It really is. Um, this is what it is. So when they rap about, oh, my man got shot, the first thing I do is go, meh. Your whole album is about killing people, and then someone you don't know gets killed, and I'm supposed to be like, what? I'm supposed to be like, that's the tragedy. My goodness, if you rapped about bonking people on the head with a bat, and then your mom, not your mom, but your brother got bonked on the head with a bat, and then you showed in the media talking about, oh, why did this happen? And oh, my heart, and he was I'm like, dude, this is the shit you put back in the world, showing up at your door. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Mary J. Blige and Kendrick Lamar performed for the first time on stage together at the Pepsi Super Bowl. For the first time, they make it sound like, oh my God, we always wanted these people to be together. Let's go through this. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem have done this a lot together, no doubt. Not Snoop Dogg, Eminem and Kendrick Lamar did videos of them together. So I think the magic of this sentence is Mary J. Blige, right? So you can throw her in the mix and go, they've never performed together before. But this is a lot of crossover. It's hip hop. There's always a lot of crossover. Somebody does a verse on your record, you do a verse on someone else's record. The NFL, Pepsi, and Rock Nation, owned by, I'm about to say LL Cool J, owned by Jay-Z, announced Thursday that the five music icons everybody's a music icon these days. Five music icons will perform on February 13th at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Lamar are Southern California natives. Dre emerged from the West Coast gangster rap scene alongside Eazy-E and Ice Cube to help form the group NWA, which made a major mark in hip hop culture and music industry with controversial lyrics in the late 1980s. Dre is responsible for bringing forth rap stars such as Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent, and Lamar. Really? Okay, I didn't know that. Dre also produced Blige's number one hit song, Family Affair. That song is trash. I mean, it's super famous, but of her songs, that's not I don't think that cracks the top 10 of her great songs. But again, like I said, there's always cross pollination with rappers, right? The opportunity to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show and to do it in my own backyard will be one of the biggest thrills of my career, Dre said in a statement. The seven-time Grammy winner added that their halftime performance will be an unforgettable cultural. Now, all the you fucking talk guns and violence, not everything out of your fucking mouth is cultural. Shut up. I hate these people. I fucking hate these people. Their bullshit is so obvious. Yeah, apparently he's partnering with them for this, but he doesn't own teams or anything. But I mean, the dude is not hurt for cash. The Super Bowl returns to the Los Angeles area for the first time since 1993. It's the third year collaboration between NFL, Pepsi, and Rock Nation. See, Rock Nation is a music venue for all the cool shit, and the NFL needs to associate itself with cool shit. Just like 10 years ago, the American military needed to associate itself with cool shit, and they associate themselves with the NFL. See the way that works? Some of your luster rubs off on them, is what this is about. Meanwhile, Pepsi just wants advertisers, right? It's a big show, rock music, rap music, country music, we don't care. We'll pay to put our logos out there and do the whatever. Rock Nation and Emmy nominated producer Jesse Collins, I don't know who that is, will serve as co producer of the halftime show. Rock Nation and the Emmy. This sounds like we're going to send our own producer down for your producers. So, because this would be okay. And Emmy nominated producer Jesse Collins. So Jesse Collins doesn't work for Rock Nation, but Rock Nation will have its own producer there. It sounds like will serve as a co-producer of the halftime show. Co-producer, the game and halftime show will air live on NBC. It always does. The five music artists have a combined 44 Grammys. Eminem has the most with 15. Rock Nation founder Jay-Z said in a statement that their show will be history in the making. I'm fucking, you know what, God, just please, just strike them all down with a giant bolt of lightning and just put me out of my misery because this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Stop talking like the Dr. King when your whole mode is drugs and violence. that's the whole mode of hip hop now. The clubs, bitches, and guns. And all because of Dr. Dre and the NWA. Oh yeah, the back a million years ago, marching bands. Yeah, everybody would leave. Look, people will. The halftime show was boring, and people would go get food, go to the bathrooms, make some phone calls, and come back. Then it began to get interesting with the commercials, and then people wanted to hang around, right? Then it began to get interesting. They were like, "Oh, we want people to stay around. We should really have a really good show instead of these marching bands." And then they started to bring people that you liked with great shows on. They tried big rock bands that were just out there like Metallica singing. Da, 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 da. We were like, oh, I can't sing. Who is that down there, man? Da, da, da. Then they brought showmen in, right? Like Prince. Prince's halftime show was fucking ridiculous. Uh, Bruno Mars had a good one too. Prince singing "Purple Rain in the Rain." Remember that? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, people are just kind of like, meh. I can watch the commercials online the next day. I don't really have to put up with this. I mean, you had people who weren't football fans watching it. It was good. But it is what it is. History in the making. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Blige, Lamar joined a list of celebrated musicians who have played during the Super Bowl halftime show. First of all, Kendrick Lamar was supposed to have retired. Now all of a sudden he's not. And that's another thing I hate. Uh, Famous guy, you don't have to tell me you're fucking retiring. You either make movies or you write songs. All right. You're not working in a ditch someplace. And the way songwriting works is you can have 10 years between your albums. So how do I know you're just taking the 10 years off or on hiatus or if you actually quit? They always come back. Well, every time they say they retire. Uh, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Blige, and Lamar join a list of celebrated musicians who have played during Super Bowl's halftime shows, including Beyonce, Madonna, Coldplay, Katy Perry, U2, Lady Gaga, Michael Jackson. I remember that one. Jennifer Lopez, I do not remember. Shakira, and recently The Weeknd. NFL and Pepsi will join together and support the launch of regional school. They're going to support one school. Here's the problem. You're not even going to fix that school. Our problems need to be a national fix. Not we're going to give $50,000 to this one school and then use the $10 million of free publicity we got for doing it as we go back to our giant mansions. It's everything is so fucking cynical in this country, and the way they play it, it's like everybody is stupid and will absolutely believe us. And I'm sitting up here raging, because I've seen this before. NFL and Pets will join together to support the launch of Regional School Number One, a magnet high school in South Los Angeles. It's set to open for students next fall as part of the Los Angeles Unified School District. Okay. Um, the high school is based on USC Iovine, and Young Academy, a program founded by the producer, Jimmy Iovine and Andrew, Dr. Dre Young. Okay. It's someone's pet perk. All right. It will offer an educational model focused on the themes of integrated design, technology, and entrepreneurship. Okay, another special school for a handful of special kids. You need to fix a school for every kid in the country. I'm just saying. Um, This effort will help develop and inspire the next gen. Oh, really? Will help inspire the next generation? Could you say so? Okay. The effort will help develop and inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs and innovators, said Megan K. Riley, the LA Unified interim superintendent. Oh boy, we are excited about the additional opportunities this partnership will bring to our students. All right. NFL Week 4 Game 6 schedule. Yeah, that looks to be ridiculous. It looks to be something that I'm not interested in. Uh, where is the crime stat? This Super Bowl halftime Super Bowl 22. Dr. Super Mary J. Block, Kent Lamar, Super Bowl, halftime show. Let's see if I write criminals. See what we get. Was the Super halftime show sexually exploitative? This is February 4th, 2020. The whole society is sexually exploitative. And people are like shocked. I can't believe what she was wearing. It's just a reason to be ridiculous. Forgot about Dre. Abuse past comes back to haunt producer after landing Super Bowl gig. The set list for Dr. Dre and friends. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and blah, blah, blah. 20 reacts to stacked 2020 Super Bowl halftime lineup. Suddenly, I'm a huge fan of the Super Bowl. Really. Richard Sherman joins the Buccaneers. Oh, R. Kelly. Oh, R. Kelly. Well, you can't say you weren't surprised because everybody knew it was coming. All right. See, that's a game I won't be. Wait, hold it. No, I won't be able to see that. It's not in my market. I'm telling you, man. I don't see any football games anymore. It sort of makes me crazy when it gets down to the rush for the playoffs somewhere around. I want to say November, like late, not really late October, but like uh November, I'd say through January. Um, but out of sight, out of mind is a thing. I stopped watching a lot of baseball and football and doing other stuff because of it. But yeah, this past Sunday I did watch like 12 hours of football. Uh, and I regret nothing. Um yeah, so all right. I'm gonna go play some guitar. Uh and I might write a song. La 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 la. See, I had to this is how my mind works, right? So when I used to write screenplays, I was like, I read like 4 or 5 books. I had like a wall on the this should happen on the first page. By page 20, this should happen. Excuse me. By halfway mark, this should happen. Um, by page 190, not 190, page 100, this should happen. By page 120, that should happen in a drama. Uh, Writing comedies and horror movies, it's 90 pages, right? So this should happen page one, this should happen at page 45, this should happen at page 90. When I started doing music, I was like, maybe I should try that. So I wrote out this song in its chords, right? There's the intro, then here's the song. Each one of these is a bar, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Verse two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there's a break, and then there's a third verse. This is the odd one, because then there's another break, and then there's an outro with 2 bars. And I was like, oh, I think I got it. And the more I stared at it, and I was listening to what is that? Tonight you're mine, complete. What's that? You give your love. What's the name of that song? Will you still love me tomorrow? The 50 by the Shirelles. Um, and I was like a little light went on. I was like, oh, so I think not a good song, but I think I might write a song this weekend just to see if I can follow the rules of writing a song. But even as I read that, the fucking article said there are no rules for writing songs. I just instantly felt deflated. I was like, ooh, I got it, but then there are no rules. And I was like, God damn it. Um, my homie told me he was in a band when he was a young man, like a teenager. And he was like, oh, as soon as I started the band, I just started writing songs. I was kind of like, I fully expected to take like a year and a half or two, or you learn your. He's like, no, he picked it up and just started writing immediately, and I was like, maybe I should just kind of stop sweating everything and do the way I'm doing things is weird. He also told me you should just learn the song and then learn whatever is in the song and have that be how you learn it. Versus learning like I know like 20 chords and my chord switching is so slow. Um, and my finger dexterity is but I gotta strengthen my fingers somehow. But I think more playing will do that. Uh yeah, man, it is what it is. It's a fun time to learn the guitar. La, da, 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 da. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try and learn it. Carol King, Jerry Joff. I'm gonna watch this game. I actually might go to a sports bar and watch this game. But see, I don't want to get back into being crazy about football when I'm trying to be crazy about music. Carol King, the singer, and Jeffrey Joff. What did they write together? Did she write that? No. I know. I always known that she was great. Carol King wrote. Uh, Come on, you just had it, and it's on the screen. Will you? Actually, you know what? That song is so good. Jeffrey Joff and Carol King. Get out of here. Look at you, man. You're murdering it. Is tonight your mind completely? You give your love so sweetly. Tonight's delight of love is in your eyes, but will you love me tomorrow? It's such a good fucking song. Two, three. It helps to look at this too. You say that I'm the only one, but will my heart be broken when the night meets the morning sun? See, this is a great song of its era, right? Nobody was out here twerking, going, I'm gonna run around with all the guys, right? This was what your concern was. I don't want to be hanging out with you, and then you turn out to be a shitty fucker. I guess it's still a concern now. But now the response to this song would be like, the hell with you. I'll move on to the next dude, and you ain't nobody, right? This is there's a sadness, there's a hopefulness to this song, there's pathos to this song. You know what else I was listening today? Uh, Bob Dylan's oh my god, see now I gotta find it. Because I must have read the lyrics like 100 times. Let's see what we got over here. First of all, okay, yeah, I had to make sure this wasn't on screen. All right. Da-ba-ba-ba-bum. You say that I'm the only one. All right, so here we go. Where is this song at? The Shirelles. The song is "To Make You Feel My Love," right, by Bob Dylan. Uh, where are the lyrics? God, Lord. So yeah, I listened to that and wrote down some of the when the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadow and the stars appear and there's no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. This is another one of those good pathos songs. Bob Dylan has written a ton of just fiery, great songs. All right, let's trick this down. Hey, Meek, good to see you. I hope all is well on your Friday, impending weekend. Uh, I really wish I could play some of these songs, but man, the internet is, you can't play anything. You can't even whistle some stuff. Tonight, your mind complete. You give your love so sweetly. Tonight, the light of love is in your eyes, but will you love me tomorrow? Grammy Hall of Fame, released 1960s. What else did Carole King write? Carole King had a balling ass career of her own, but Jesus Christmas. There's a couple of Carole King songs that I love that she sang. And I'm sure there's a couple. Where is her IMDb page? Net worth. This is the shit that interests people. Net worth. Um, Carole King wiki. Yeah, she's famous for this 1960s tapestry thing. Hey, she went to Queens College. I went to Queens College. During the 60s, with King composing the music and Goffin writing the lyrics, the two wrote a string of classics. Oh, he died in 2014. Was an American lyricist who formed a successful songwriting partnership with his wife. Oh, she was his wife, Carole King. Their first success was "Will You Love Me Tomorrow," recorded by Shirelles. King and Goffin were also the songwriting team behind Don Kirshner's Dimension Records, which produced songs including Chain. What is Chain? Later by the Beatles. This isn't Chain of Fools, right? I don't think so. Sometimes I need lyrics for some of these. Cookie's rendition is a rhythm and blues song based on husband writing dream. It was hit from American group The Cookies in 1962. The Cookies, wait, what? The Cookies were an American R&B girls group active in two distinct lineups. They were active in two distinct lineups. The first from 1954 to 58, which later became the Rolettes, and the second from 1961 to 67. Several of the members of both lineups were members of the same family. Okay. All right. Um, Chains. I gotta hear this song. Like several other girls in the Beatles version. All right. Okay. Apparently, why don't I know this song? We're gonna get rid of that. All right. The Beatles, the Locomotion. Come on, baby, do the Locomotion. Keep your hands off my baby. Don't know that one. I know who Little Eva is, so it might as well rain until September, which King recorded herself in 1962, her first hit. King recorded a few follow-up singles in the wake of September, but none of them sold much. Her already sporadic recording career was entirely abandoned, albeit temporarily, 1966. Other songs of King's early period: "Halfway to Paradise," "Take Good Care of My Baby," we all know that. "Up on the Roof," we all know that. The Drifters, "I'm Into Something Good." Yeah, we all know this one too. Herman's Hermit, really. "One Fine Day," The Chiffons, "Pleasant Valley Sunday," The Monkees, and "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman" by Aretha Franklin. She wrote several songs recorded by Dusty Springfield. I love these. "Papa, Son of a Preacher Man," right? "Going Back," and "Some of You Love It." In 1968, Goffin and King were divorced and were starting to lose contact. King moved to Laurel Canyon, Los Angeles with two daughters and reactivated her recording career by forming the City, a musical trio consisting of Charles Larkey, her future husband, of course. Stay out of bed with these people. Lord. On bass, Donnie Korchner on guitars and vocals, and King on piano and vocals. The City produced one album now that everything's been said in 1970, but King's reluctance to perform live meant sales were slow. A change of distributors meant that the album was quickly deleted. The group disbanded in 1969. The album was rediscovered by classic rock radio in the early 1980s, and the cut Snow Queen received nominal airplay for a few years. What? Uh-huh. All right. All right. Well, yeah, Carol King. We all know that she's good. Hmm. Oh, nice. Payday is always a good day. Always a good day. My baby's got me locked up in chains. Okay, so we're gonna look up Chains, this song Chains, because Chains by Carol King? Or do we want to do the Beatles? Which one was these? All right, I'm gonna put you on mute. Yeah, okay. I don't know that one. That sounds weird AF, and I don't know it. Uh All right, it's 8:30. Let's put this one to bed. We will be back tomorrow doing a guitar stream. Uh, and if not, we'll talk about politics. But it's likely to be a guitar stream because we gotta feed that beast. The beast requires feeding. Uh, I want to thank everybody for coming through. William, have a good night. Meeks, thanks for coming through. I'm glad it's your weekend. Have a tip a little back for the homies who ain't there, as we used to say. I want to thank Smooth Patty for coming through. And I will see the rest of you tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. 7:30, 6:30 p.m. Remember, we're here every day, Monday through Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Saturday's the music show. I'm thinking it's gonna be coming back. And Sunday, we're here at 7:30 a.m. for the Sunday session, which is spiritual, and we might move that back too because people wake up. I want you to wake up and have coffee with me. Uh, but yeah, so remember, we do these shows 7 days a week. Come get some because there's plenty to be got. I will see you in the next one, and the next one is tomorrow, 6:30. Enjoy your weekend. Get something in you. Peace and hair grease. And wow, I'm out.